Jeff, what overall other impressions of the challenge? What'd you think of Trysta and Kelly forming an alliance? What else did you observe in today's episode?
I mean, the two things that stick out are obviously the two reality people. Kelly is very good at confessionals. She watches a lot of reality TV. You can just see she knows to pour out like all the nonsense. Like, the confessional is not a place to like play the game. That's the place where everyone afterwards is going to see what you did. So she crushed it in those. Tommy, I wrote I kind of knew like the hidden idols and stuff, and like the second we all started talking beforehand, like where the idol, like there was no chance Tommy was going to go right after idols. Like that was going to be the first thing he tried to do, was to try and get an idol, which I think he said he wouldn't do on the actual show because you don't want to be like the nerd going looking for the idols right away. But I think he knew that probably no one else knew what was going on with like the rules of Survivor. Like he had the massive upper hand. So he put on a clinic, but I think everyone watching is going to know like how long can he do that before? Like I bet there are people watching who are stunned that he really wasn't discussed to be like the first guy to go. Because I think many people figured, why would you not get the Survivor guy out?
I think that a couple things. I think that Tommy had a huge advantage knowing the show. Not only is he like a freak and obsessed with it, but the other, like almost every other member of the show had like maybe seen a couple episodes. So it's really not even close. Also, the whole roster is relatively new or not spiteful asshole members of Barstool. Like if me, you, Dan, if the rest of us are on there, Tommy's going home first and foremost only because we want to crush his soul and his dreams, and like no amount of money is worth it. So I think Tommy's very lucky in both those departments.
That's classic, just like friend stuff. Like, well, if Jeff D Lowe had if there was a vote around Barstool Sports and it was like, hey, this person gets to be in a Star Wars movie, vote them in. Jeff D Lowe's not winning. Ken Jack's not winning. Robbie's not winning.
We're all done.
He's not winning. No one who genuinely enjoys it will be allowed in.
It would probably be you. Like you would win because they'd make you sit on the set in a stormtrooper costume for 6 or like 8 hours. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a huge advantage in that department. He does now have the idol. And at this point, I don't think anybody even knows what that means other than Tommy. So
that's another large part. Is like, even if someone would be like, I think at this point, if they'd be like, well, what is that? He could say anything and he'd be like he would just get away with it.
Oh, Tommy can start making up names, rules, phrases, vocab words, and no one's gonna know. So he has the huge advantage there. I think what's interesting about this whole process is, when you watch a regular reality show, it's all strangers. Nobody knows anybody. Mm-hmm. Nobody knows anything about anybody. Not only do the contestants know each other, but we all know them as well. So I'm sitting here thinking, okay, we know Tommy smokes. We know he has a huge advantage because of his reality TV show background. We also know Kelly Keegs, huge advantage because she's an absolute fucking lunatic, a absolute psychotic, manipulative bitch who can take on anyone mentally. So in my mind at this stage, those are the two people I'm looking at.
Keegs was posturing for this show before we knew this show existed. The show was thrown together in like 2 weeks. Keegs has been here, I don't know, however many months now. And she's been like, I think this is actually an answer to the internet questions is if you could start one rumor about yourself, true or false, what would it be? Keegs' answer would be that I'm a witch because she's just been doing it. And, and she's so maniacal that it's kind of like, even I'm like, I don't think she is, but maybe. I guess she could be a witch. I don't even know what that entails, but if anyone's a witch, it's Keegs.
She dove right into. I got to give her credit. I think of her as kind of, little like hoity-toity, but she just dove right into that bucket of water. Which I mean, they explained it, but they didn't quite dive in. The drama. If you didn't realize, everybody putting one nip in, like I did you, you did me. And I did you, you did me. And it went around the whole circle. And Kelly breaking it and giving it back to Trysta was the first time that we saw anything kind of like, ooh, shit. Like, she's throwing down the gauntlet. So she kind of made the first move to fuck somebody over. And then Trysta goes ham in that. That was a very, very difficult challenge. I don't know if you've ever done bobbing for apples, bobbing for nips. Even harder, though. I mean, some people barely, like Tommy, I don't think got a single one out.
Well, they're arguing that Tommy did that intentionally. Now, I don't understand what that would even mean, but that was the only challenge I was upstairs for. I kind of removed myself after that one, and I'm watching it live. But afterwards, I went to Tommy. I was like, Tommy, you're the fucking reality show guy. I've never seen someone just straight up quit in the middle of the challenge. At one point, he wasn't trying anymore. He was just sitting crisscross applesauce by his bucket. And then he kind of like just like shooed me away. And then later came up to my desk and goes, listen here, you stupid fucking idiot. I was losing on purpose so I could see what alliances were formed. I was like, maybe? I don't know.
He's a strategy guy.
He is a strategy guy.
You'll notice, too, I think, for people watching, like, there is a moment where everybody at one point does flip the switch of, like, there's the game, and then there's, like, really playing the game. Like, there's the doing it for the sake of because it's the show, and there's $10,000. But everyone at the start, Trysta definitely had it flipped. I think Dave maybe thought he had it flipped, but it was, I would say, Trysta, Keegs, and Tommy were like, they were playing the game off the bat. Eventually, everyone does, but it took a little bit, I think, for a few people to kind of go, oh, like, this isn't just like you sit at your desk, oh, challenge, all right, come back down. Like, this is a thing. And it just, the paranoia built really quickly.
And like,
there's that someone, I just can't imagine Nick playing a game. So I will be stunned if Nick starts gaming. I just think Nick doesn't know how to do anything but bits. So I don't even know if he can game.
Nick, you underestimate.
Nick, like everything else in Nick's life, I can't tell if he's real or not real, if it's a joke, if it's not a joke. Am I being laughed? Are you laughing at me? You laughing with me? He is capable of absolutely anything. He's just not as fucking crazy as someone like Kelly Keegs. He just does it with a smile on his face. So it's like, oh, okay. And then you start to realize, like, there's playing the game, like you said. Then there's playing the game, and then there's playing the game. Like, there's levels to it where it's like all of a sudden they're playing, basically 24 hours a day, where every word coming out of your mouth is carefully chosen and on purpose and deliberate. So the first real strategy move we saw, Jeff, is Trysta offering up the alliance to Kelly. Now, when I as a host, I said it straight up, like, don't think it's going to be Kelly, because at that point, again, Kelly made the first move to fuck her over, and it was like there was tension. It was awkward, and it was like, oh, we're going to get some cat fight here. I really did not think that was happening, but Trysta flips the script and goes with the girl alliance. What'd you think of that, Jeff? Well,
you saw Kelly's confessional. She's like, Trysta knew like that if she didn't get the immunity necklace tonight, I would have voted her out. I think Trysta probably overplayed her hand by doing that. Like, I think she maybe was going for like, all right, like we kind of had an argument here. Let's let's make a truce. Let's just go into the Nav lounge or whatever. And I think Keegs kind of just sniffed that out right away. Kind of she called bullshit on that. I think that
looking back, she has it. She says, "I'm down for the truce tonight." Like it wasn't like, huge alliance. She was like, "Yeah, I'll take a fucking, I'll sleep in the comfy bed tonight," which also was a thing. I mean, Tommy grabbed a couch in the PMT lounge. Everybody else was running on like 2 hours sleep. If you notice, if you follow along on Twitter, Tom Scabelli tweeted, "I got 7 hours of sleep. I told everyone I got 2." He's such an asshole, but it was a big deal. The sleep situation was a big deal. So
they didn't show Nick and Donnie how to think Camp Dick. It's in like the far back corner. It's in like the one part of the office that like no one has ever seen on camera. If you watch Barstool content, no camera would ever go back there. It's actually across from where they shoot advisors and stool streams, and they slept back there. And that is Mice Alley. Like Zaz said, you could hear, and Nick said you could hear the mice running by at night.
All right, you're already laughing at one of the best clips of our shows. Now it's time for you to watch the full episode. So click here, subscribe to the full KFC Radio show. You can watch entire episodes right here. You want more clips? Click here. Subscribe to both of them.
Hit the button too. Hit the bell.
Hit the bell and the button, and then the comment below.
Leave comments. Who else you think we should interview?
And how I'm funnier than John?
Maybe.